Yo, guys, welcome to the Blue Podcast with me, Mackers, Ben, Cam, and Fab. How you boys doing today?
Good, thanks.
Good, thank you. Fantastic.
Very good, very good. Well, obviously, you guys are probably slightly happier than me right now in terms of football. Obviously, this is the Purple Show, so we'll be discussing Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, and City today. But before we get into that, we are an ambassador for a new app called LinkMe. It's an app that makes juggling social media accounts easier than ever. Make sure to download the app, make an account with our link down below. Check out the merch, also greatly appreciated from us. We're going to just kind of run through the games from last Tuesday to this Tuesday. Obviously, there wasn't any games for us really yesterday or today, but obviously
There's a big game tonight.
there is a big game tonight. We will have the Twitter predictions out. Obviously, check out our Twitter at the Blue Podcast 1 for our Twitter predictions. It's City versus Real Madrid. Yeah, let's touch on that quickly. How are you feeling for that, Ben?
City are capable of winning the game, but whether they do or not is another thing. Because Madrid obviously aren't a pushover, but they,
If you don't beat them, I'm surprised.
Huh?
If you don't beat them, I'm surprised.
Yeah, I mean, well, with Benzema, Vinicius. Yeah, Benzema, Vinicius, and Modric, they're always a threat, so it's not guaranteed.
We gave them 4 goals. I don't know. I don't think City would do that. I mean, who'd give away 4 goals in a game?
You never know.
City only score City can wipe a team, but it's always the teams that don't mean anything. So unless they
bear in mind their last two scorelines were 3-0 and 5-1.
Yes, but again, against who?
I mean, yeah, Brighton and what?
So,
in
the big games, it's like it's a 1-0 or it's a 0-0 or it's a close game. Do you know what I mean? It's a 2-1, it's a 3-1,
or a 3-2 Liverpool,
or 3-2 Liverpool. That's against Liverpool. Liverpool, when there's a lot of goals, because Liverpool play a high line and score a lot of goals. So, but then they've drawn against Liverpool as well twice in the league this season. So
we need that finisher. But
I just don't think.
I fancy Madrid's chances. To be fair, I think.
Well, I mean, Liverpool have had the easiest run in history in the Champions League, haven't they?
Well, I don't know why you're laughing as a Chelsea supporter. If you've seen your FA Cup run, I wouldn't laugh too hard about that.
FA Cup's slightly different to the supposed best trophy in the world.
Well, we can't really do much with the Champions League considering the fact the team we're going up against has beaten Bayern Munich.
Yeah, they did beat Bayern. They did beat Bayern Munich.
Like in our run, we were meant to get one of those tough teams.
Yeah, but still, Liverpool will absolutely destroy Villarreal. Like, there's no you might as well advise the final right now.
I think it'd be quite a close one. I think Benfica, was a bit of a rollover, but Villarreal, they won the Europa League last season and they've beaten 2 top teams.
A team with the quality of Liverpool have got, you should be absolutely smashing them there.
Is it over 2 legs or is it one match?
Yeah, 2 legs.
2 legs. Yeah, it'd be fine. I could see if it was 1 leg, see Villarreal parking the bus, holding out, getting a bit lucky, and then stealing the goal. But over 2 legs, you'll be fine.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Liverpool would be more fine than City, obviously. But interestingly, it's 2 English clubs versus 2 Spanish clubs. Who'd have thought? And one of them's not Barcelona. Whee. They actually got knocked out the Europa League because they're shit. All right, should we get to the Premier League? Obviously, the first game we're going to talk about is Liverpool versus Manchester United 4-0. Lovely game for Liverpool. I'm sure Fab enjoyed it. Beating your, what's the word? I guess your rivals, yeah. Beating your rivals.
I think it's derby for local, and then rivals are just anywhere there's a bit of competition. But yeah, no, it was a great game to watch. I thought Thiago and Diaz.
Thiago's looking really good right now.
Yeah, he was phenomenal. Playing a different type of football to everyone else on the pitch there, and he looks the real deal now. So looking forward to seeing that. And we did sort of need a bit of a. I know he's 30, but a switch up in midfield, because it has been our weak spot for say two seasons now, maybe. And now we've got some fresh ideas in the midfield. It's changed the game quite a lot for us. But apart from that, be honest with you, United just looked awful. Like the fact that Pogba came off like 7 minutes in,
he just didn't want to play. He didn't want to play.
He didn't want to play. And I heard someone like next to me or someone saying like, apparently he's just signed a new contract. And believe it or not, after the game, he has signed. Well, I don't know if it's confirmed he's signed, but it's confirmed he's leaving.
Yeah, he's leaving.
Apparently it happened before that game. So I think that's quite unprofessional from him.
I think he's also played his last game against Arsenal. It was his last game because he's now injured for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I mean,
that was the last little stint in the Man United shirt.
Yeah, not exactly the best 2 games to go out of a United career on.
Yeah. I mean, the fact he was getting booed and he was the best player on the pitch, I think, is a bit harsh. So I'm not gonna have a go at him like that.
Can I also say that the Liverpool goals, they were good. Like they were such nice goals. Like the Mane reverse pass with the spin when it just like curled straight into Salah's feet, and
For me, it was just Thiago.
Yeah,
he was unbelievable. In the first
but he was unbelievable. I'm saying the goals as well. Everyone was just lovely.
Liverpool were quality, but United absolutely stink.
Yeah. There's a bit of both in there. Like Liverpool were allowed to play that well because of Man United being like a League One side. Like they were awful. They were so bad, and they've not found any recovery either. Like, I mean, I'm going to go on to it, but they brought in Phil Jones, like at some point, and dropped.
He started him for the first time in like a month or over a month.
He played 4 games in the last 2 years or something.
Yeah,
they played him
off. He's like, why have you started me against Liverpool and then take me off at half time? Don't start me against Liverpool.
I mean, apparently they played.
He probably was. I remember when he played his first game of the season, he was their best centre back.
But like that's the state that they're in, bringing him back.
Apparently, they played better against Arsenal, didn't they? Or something, but obviously
they were.
Still.
Yeah.
I thought they were a bit unlucky not to, get a result out of that game. But then again, it's United, so who cares? But speaking about Manchester, we've got Manchester City 3-0 Brighton. Didn't watch the game because I think it was at 3:00 during the
3:00.
It wasn't 3. It was on Wednesday. Was that the late kickoff?
It was like 8:00 or something.
Yeah, the 8:00 kickoff. I was watching the Chelsea Arsenal game. Unfortunately, how was that game, Ben?
I mean, it looked like we weren't going to score. It was going to be one of those games that we weren't going to score and draw 0-0 or lose 1-0 at half time. But then, well, thankfully we got the first goal and then managed to. They started to open up a little bit after that first goal. So, but yeah, we did the job, did what we needed to do that game. But yeah, I mean, like I say, second half I think we played all right. To be fair, first half was not that we played badly, but we just couldn't seem to score. So,
but then I'd say Brighton are one of the most informed teams in the league at the moment. They're playing pretty well. So I mean, it looked a bit shaky to begin with, but then you still managed to put 3 past them. So you still managed to get the job done, even though it's a team that are on form. I think Brighton. So,
yeah, that's true.
It's still 3-0, still like a good result, but performance-wise, maybe not what you're after. But because it's kind of looking now where City are the ones that are looking more likely to drop points.
So absolutely.
So
yeah.
If
we drop points, Liverpool win the league. That's basically it, the story of it. If we draw, Liverpool have got it. That's it. Like so,
kind of will it into existence at the moment by putting all my predictions against City. Not working so far.
They might slip up. They could slip up.
No, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Go, Tom. Go.
Should we move on to the London derby?
Yes.
This is
Oh,
what
who
Cam's,
was
what
Yeah.
Cam's been waiting for.
Chelsea 2, Arsenal 4.
This is the whole
Sorry,
reason
what was
you're.
that?
You heard this
Four?
from Cam. Do you want
Stamford
to
Bridge?
with that?
Oh, there's nobody here. There's nobody. Oh, it's beautiful. What a day. What a day. I watched it with my brother. It was good. It was good. A nice little moment for him to watch. Little 7-year-old child.
He's watched the Spurs game with you, and now he's watched the Chelsea game with you, hasn't he?
Yeah, it was great. It was great. It was a bit shaky.
Get him a seat.
It's very shaky from you. You got
From us?
backs to the wall for a bit,
Bit shaky from Arsenal. No.
and then it was
Chelsea-
shockingly
Chelsea
shaky from
was
Chelsea. Chelsea was
Chelsea
shit.
was so shit.
Defensively,
It was great.
fucking shocking.
It was great
Defensively
to
shocking.
watch. It was, but to be fair, Arsenal did. They were at some point they were clinical, which they've not been for a while.
Yeah, it's like Nketiah doesn't score any goals, so let's give him 2.
That's stop him away. This is a man who's come in 2 games in. He's probably he's had a few starts this season. Right on the bench, you never know. But no, I mean, Nketiah coming in, he was going to leave, but I'm not sure whether he will now or not. But we're still going to buy another striker, so he probably will. So if anything, it means, I mean, him playing a bit better now increases his transfer fee, which is good for us. So,
Wait,
but no,
who was going to leave?
Who? Nketiah.
Who, yeah, Nketiah. All right.
Yeah, Nketiah. Just because he's not. I mean, I've said it before. He's not good enough. Like, he's not good enough to be a top striker in the Premier League, so he shouldn't be our striker. So,
Can I say also, bear in mind, he was given 2 goals. It wasn't like he scored 2 lovely goals.
no, he's not given 2 goals.
Just say it.
I thought it was quite good.
He was passed the ball by Christensen, and then he was passed the ball by Malang Sarr.
And then slotted it, and then had to he had to bounce Malang Sarr. Otherwise, he was going to get bodied, which he just brushed off, and then slotted it past Mendy. Right,
I heard Arsenal fans saying Lacazette wouldn't have finished both of those.
No, because Lacazette doesn't have the athleticism or the pace. He wouldn't have been like sprinting or running up to Christensen to put him under pressure. But it was the pitch's fault.
I mean,
anyway.
the Christensen one was shocking.
It was the pitch's
It
fault.
was shocking defensively.
So
Shocking. We gave you 3 goals.
Cam's having a field day here.
it was
We
fine.
deserve to lose that game.
And
Cam's
then
having a field day.
yeah, no, it was just great. It was just good. It was a good day. It was a very, very good day because it was a must-win game as well. We had to win that game. So
Yeah, that's what we thought. Like we didn't want Spurs to get a bit too ahead in the top 4 challenge. So,
but of course. But then, I mean, the way fixtures and results have gone, it's actually worked out not too bad for us. But had we lost that game, it would be in Spurs' favour. So,
no,
and I mean, we're coming off of form, not very good form.
3 losses in the league.
3 losses in a row against teams that we should be beating. I know it's hypothetical. If we'd won those games, we'd be above Chelsea. That's all I'm saying. So,
But you didn't.
So, but we beat them 4-2 at Stamford Bridge. Can I just remind everybody here the embarrassment of that?
It was our yearly. Let's give Arsenal a win again, as we always seem to flip and do. Is play a bad Arsenal and then still lose.
Anyway,
Yeah.
moving on.
Was it a penalty?
Yes.
The Saka one.
Okay.
I thought that was so far ahead. I couldn't believe you put that in the chat, I'll be honest. I thought you were fishing for an argument.
I was just pissed off.
Yeah. To be fair, I could tell. I didn't take the bait, but I was like, oh, this is just going to end badly if we start.
Next up.
I think I was up. I wouldn't. annoyed from a defender's point of view about that, Dave Penn. I thought I hate Dave,
Stupid. It was stupid.
but
Shouldn't have happened.
he doesn't help himself. Like there's no reason for his hands to even be there, and then Saka just completely falls
It's
both
the
directions.
fact that he turns his back. That's the whole.
Yeah.
Like,
But the thing is, he's done that sort of stuff for corners. I've seen him do it. Like he does it for corners. He gets like really in someone's face. He's done it against us loads of times. He does it every single game, and like he's probably just got comfortable with doing that in the box because it's a corner. No one's going to see anything. And then now he's done it kind of in the middle of a game in front of the ref, and it's sort of like, well, can only take it so far. But yeah, I don't know. Don't want to slate Chelsea too much.
I will.
Oh, what do you think about arguing with the fans at the end of the game as well, Tom?
as soon as you turn your back on the ball, you're giving the referee the excuse to give it, aren't you? So
I don't think that was very good for him. And then like he was clearly having a go at these fans, and then one of the fans just walks over and goes, "Can I have your shirt?" And he's like,
But to be fair, they did bottle it as well, though. Like as soon as he started talking back to them, they were like,
"Oh, they were like,
yeah,
I'm sorry." Yeah,
just
that's the issue. Though. Some fans think they can just say what they want, or say what the crowd's saying, and then they can just get away with it. Is the issue?
I thought it was a good thing. I mean, it shows that. I mean, he was clearly pissed off.
It's a good thing to an extent, but like you should never argue with the fans. It's never going to look good, no matter what. No matter what you're arguing about, it's never going to look.
What was said or what he said.
They can't hear it. I don't think.
It could have just been him saying like, "Don't worry, like it's okay. We understand. We're going to get better."
Did you see what Azpilicueta was fuming?
Yeah, but he's also
fuming. There's no way that it was just, "Don't worry, we're going to be back stronger."
But he's not stupid as well. Like, there's only so many things he can say, and like, as
he must have heard something in the crowd he really didn't like.
So,
or like someone was slagging off one of the other Chelsea players, and he was like coming to his defense.
No, I think they were having a go at him, and he's just like taking the bait a little bit.
Yeah,
to be honest with you, I don't think it'd take much to set someone off that sort of performance.
He's not going to be nationalist or whatever.
But the
thing is, United don't go parading around the stadium after every game. Just get slated by everyone.
From like a Chelsea point of view, does it even really matter what happens? As long as you get top four, does it even really matter what happens from now to the end of the season?
No, because they've got
the issue. That's why we're playing like crap, because we lost. We got knocked out of the Champions League after such a good game. We got knocked out after like so much effort, so much of that, and then like it's clearly just completely demoralised us.
But you've got an FA Cup final.
Yeah, but the FA Cup final's not for like 3 weeks, so it's like, okay, we've just got some void games in between. For like,
you've got a game in hand, haven't you? You've got a game in hand, haven't you? So like,
so we can go 8 points. We can go 8 points clear of fourth.
So you easily got third.
And then it's like, if we're 8 points clear of fourth, we're then like, we're then like 10 points clear of fifth. So it's like we have to like really. There's 5 games left after tomorrow. Like,
but then,
if we win tomorrow, we win 2 games and we're in top 4. That's it.
If you lose a game.
Was it you got United on Thursday? Is it?
No, tomorrow.
No, it's Thursday.
Thursday? No, it's Thursday. Yeah, sorry, Thursday.
Yeah, no, I think it's just. I don't think you've had a bad season. I just think the way it's turned out is just mildly unfortunate. If there was still a top 4 race right now and you were just about kept in at 4th or something like that, I think your supporters would be kind of quite a lot more up for it. But now, because you're comfortably in top 4 and you're knocked out of the Champions League and there's nothing else to play for another 3 weeks, I think the whole fan base has probably like sat back and said, that's sort of it.
Yeah, it's just like it's just an accumulation of obviously like everything happening behind the scenes. Apparently, we're getting the bidder is being selected by the end of this month, which is obviously going to be very soon, considering there's 4 days left in the month. And like, I think it's just an accumulation of like so much happening up behind the scenes. Rudiger's going, Christensen's going. Like we're going to have a new owner. We put that kind of absolute shift in for the Champions League and then lost. It's just clearly an
It's
accumulation.
been one of those seasons, and the first thing was that Lukaku interview,
and Lukaku, yeah, it's just been a
and
toss.
then after that, like it was just thing after thing after thing after thing. Like it's just a very odd season.
Yeah, there's like Chilwell injury, Reece James injury, like
still managed to get top 4 for next year.
But I was going to say, even though obviously, and if you were still in top 4 race, you'd be still up for it. You'd still rather be in Chelsea's position than Arsenal's position.
Oh yeah.
So
I think it's a little bit like expectation after winning the Champions League last season. I think your supporters will have been kind of expecting, a semi-final performance, maybe battling for the Prem as well. And I think you kind of been a bit of a victim for that. And it happens to every club. It's not like it's same with us, winning the Prem and this Champions League. All of a sudden you don't win anything and you're just like, did we do something wrong? We've actually had a decent season. We got knocked out by Atletico Madrid that, parked the bus against us. Sometimes it's just not your game. There's nothing you can do.
Exactly. Well, the Real Madrid one was more, we messed up in the first leg. So it was almost like no matter how good we were in the second leg, it was a tough challenge to do.
Then,
learning from your lessons as well.
We still got a very young squad, especially now we've got like Rudiger leaving, Christensen leaving.
You gotta use this 3 weeks as prep because you could be the last defense in stopping Liverpool getting a quad at this rate.
Yeah, it looks like it could literally be City and Chelsea, the only 2 teams that could stop this rampage from Liverpool.
Yeah,
we've already failed once. Well, Kepa failed once.
Yeah, and I mean, if City slip up in the Prem, we failed there, and then Champions League, like
it's probably going to be you in the final.
It's a big if, but if we get through to the final, we know it'll be Liverpool because Liverpool are not going to lose to Villarreal. And then obviously you in the FA Cup.
I was saying this earlier to someone who doesn't really follow football, but like their family's Liverpool, and I was like, genuinely, it would ruin football if Liverpool win the quadruple. Like, no one wants them to win the quadruple. I don't think there's a single fan in the world, let alone in England, who wants.
I mean, the only reason I'd like to see it happen is to say that I remember it happening.
Yeah,
but I don't want it to happen.
I don't want it to be Liverpool.
If there's ever a time, it'd be like, well, at least I'd remember it.
I mean,
I'd rather City win the quadruple than Liverpool.
If Liverpool do it, then
it's just the fans, the Liverpool fans.
They'll never like. It'll be on every, on Sky Sports and BT Sport. It'll be on every little like montage clip ever created.
It kind of credits this team though. Like this team is a.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, no, it is a good team. Yeah,
I think I've seen some commentators and stuff like that talk about it. Obviously, I can't go back in time and watch every single Liverpool game, but I think especially if you're going back maybe 30 years, where we didn't win the Prem for so long, I think this is probably the best Liverpool team in that time period. I think a lot of people are sleeping on that. I think a lot of people are sort of taking it for granted a little bit. We didn't, splash out ridiculous amounts for these players. We didn't really buy our victory, and that's not a hit at anyone in particular.
I mean, I'd debate that. I mean, it's obviously like it's all about like total spend and all that, but all top clubs spend money. All top clubs spend money. I know maybe obviously some more than others, but all top
Everton have spent more than us.
Huh?
Everton have spent more than us.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Everton's recruitment is like United's. It's awful.
But anyway, it wasn't meant as a dig. It was just more of like trying to show how special it is to buy a winger from Roma for 30 million on a punt.
I mean, I get that, but it's like
that just doesn't happen.
Yeah, but it's still like I think I saw the graph that was showing it, and like Liverpool still had like 3 signings above 75 million or something like that. So it's like it's not that you've not spent money. Obviously, don't get me wrong, you've not spent nowhere near as much as like City.
Well, it's just net spend, isn't it? Because we sold Coutinho, which funded those two of those big transfers.
I mean, and again, like I know it's like obviously people quote net spend and stuff like that, but like it's just like it's not. That's not the truth. It's obviously it's part
You
of it.
triggered
Like,
him, Fab. You
It's
triggered
got
him.
to go into context. It's got to go into
yeah,
context.
exactly.
It's all about the
context. It's about context. So like that stat is a good stat to have, but it doesn't show the full picture.
I think net spend is more important than overall spend. I think
Fair enough.
whatever if you're selling big and buying big, I think you break
I
even.
like it. I like it. See,
I think,
don't get me wrong. I do think it like net spend is a good stat, but I don't think it shows the full picture. Is what I'm saying. Like with
in what way?
like with Chelsea, you know, when there was Tom was talking about net spend, like with Hazard, like yeah, don't get me
Well,
wrong, net
they got
spend,
rid of their
like
best
yeah,
player.
but like it doesn't show the full picture.
Because otherwise, you're saying, okay, I'm just going to guess, but Everton and Liverpool have probably spent the same amount of money,
Everton have spent more,
right?
Everton spent more, yeah. They've got
Everton has spent more.
which is
But-
funny because they're going to get relegated more.
But my
that
point
shows.
is, net spend. You look at that and say, both teams have had a crack at it, and one of the teams has just been a bit more successful. But the reality is, Liverpool haven't spent as much because they've sold on their previous successes, which
The recruitment has been really good. Like, don't get me wrong.
Is the net spend still negative though? Have you still?
no, our net spend's not negative. Definitely
No.
not.
Is it not?
We spent. I think it's something like
I think ours isn't even negative.
50 mil in the last few, maybe 200 mil.
Yeah,
Last
but
5 years.
this is what I was saying. I mean, obviously, like, but it wasn't like that. What I was saying was, it's not obviously about like net spend or total spend or all that sort of stuff. It's like just all top clubs spend money and are rich.
You have
Like,
to. You have to.
That's basically what I was saying. Like, obviously, some
Some are
spend
richer
more
than
than
others.
others, but like Liverpool, Chelsea, City, United,
United
Arsenal,
have spent the
Tottenham
most.
are all rich clubs. That's basically what I'm saying.
Yeah,
some-
no, they're all well off, but you have to admit, at the end of the day, how often did Liverpool, Spurs, I think Arsenal's in there as well? How often do they, shell out 50 mil for a player? I would say for those three, it's like
Quite often, actually.
quite often, yeah.
72 million for Nicola Pepe to sit on the bench.
Yeah.
But you got William and David Luiz for free.
Jeez.
Yeah, net spend.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
I
But
do
no,
want to
I mean,
go back
I'm
onto
talking
the.
about like Everton and United and that. Like that shows though, like they've spent
It's about recruitment.
loads of money, and
The
then
difference is the recruitment. The players have actually signed. Liverpool have
They
shown
bought
that you
Alex
don't have
Iwobi
to
for
spend.
30 mil.
Yeah,
it's
you don't have to spend
mil.
that big money to get a good player. But Liverpool have also signed to fit their system. So, like Luis Diaz, perfect example right now.
Yeah.
He is literally come into the team and he's just slotted straight in. And it's like, hold on, we usually say like a foreign player needs a season, a minimum, to acclimatise to the Premier League. It's taken him like 2 games, and then now he's doing ridiculous stuff. Like he's playing incredibly. But when does that happen? So how have Liverpool found this player? Why has no one else found this player?
Well, Spurs wanted him.
Spurs, Spurs did want him.
Luis Diaz went, nah, I'd rather go to Liverpool, to be honest.
Yeah, Liverpool came and he was like, yeah, Spurs, I'm not sure about that.
But
I'm
this
going
is
to
part of
go
the problem as well. If he went to Spurs, he probably wouldn't have been the same player as he is now.
No.
Like, I look at Kulusevski, who Spurs have bought in recently.
To be fair, he's done well.
I quite like him.
Well. Yeah.
He's a good player. But I just think if he was somewhere else apart from Spurs, think how good he could be. So,
Well, like Arsenal.
I think he'd do better at Arsenal. I think he would.
I'm not sure he would do better at Arsenal.
I
I think it's that culture, that North London culture.
I mean,
But I want to go back onto the thing about Fab saying, obviously people are sleeping on the fact that this Liverpool team could possibly be the best Liverpool team for the last like 35 years.
Easily
I
are.
think that the reason people don't think like that is because people are very nostalgic. That when they look back at like Chelsea, the same with this as well. Like, yeah, we won the Champions League recently, but you would never say that it's better than a previous team. who haven't won the Champions League, just because like you look back and the nostalgia comes through, and it's like with when you had Torres, you had Gerrard, you had Carragher. Like you look back and you think, oh, those were like the best players in the world. Whereas it's very tough to look at your team right now to then to do that. If that makes sense.
So you reckon, like in like 5 years' time, you look back and go, "Oh Jesus Christ!"
Maybe like 10 years, 10 years time. Yeah, they'll look back and go, actually, that was the best team ever.
I think that could be massive. I think we set up, a good enough system, as Cam was saying earlier, to survive Salah leaving. But I think at the end of the day with football, if you want silverware, you do need I'd say the best player in the world, or one of the top 3 players in the world at the moment, on your front line. I think that is a key factor. And how often are Liverpool going to have that sort of player at their club? Probably till the end of the season, unfortunately. But
I thought
this summer transfer window is going to be very, very interesting.
I thought he was supposed to sign a new contract.
He wants money.
Yeah, it swings and roundabouts every single week now. Yeah. The one thing we know is, he's keen to stay. Obviously, Liverpool's keen for him to stay. It's not just a money thing, but it probably is.
That's what I said about Rudiger, and look where he's going.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, Liverpool have got at the moment, I think Roy Keane said recently, he was talking about the outgoings of Man United. So you've got like Pogba, Matic, a few other players that are talking about it, saying that this is Man United. Players shouldn't want to leave Man United. This is the best club in the world. Liverpool have got that in their club. People want to go to Liverpool because it's Liverpool, and they don't want to leave Liverpool because it's Liverpool. They've got that kind of prestige about them at the moment because of how they performed in the last 4 or 5 years.
We've only had that recently, though, because you go back a couple of seasons at Coutinho, Suarez. Okay, Barca is a more prestigious club, and it does make sense, but
I think that's changing.
That was like 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago.
It's after you won the first Champions League, and then obviously went on to win the league. It was the Champions League season that you started to have this sort of period.
It's not. You have to earn that kind of respect, and I think obviously Barcelona, Real Madrid have done that, and I'm sure in our era we've done that as well. But at the end of the day, you have to be winning trophies if you want to retain key players. And I think this season is a great opportunity to do it. And, I can see us getting some silverware, renewing Salah's contract and stuff like that. If it doesn't work out, who knows what will happen. I know we'll survive. I think we'll carry on getting top 4. But I think this might be our last.
Just imagine. What could be?
It's a difficult one because I think when push comes to shove, Salah will stay.
I think if PSG can call him with the 500k month contract,
I mean, you'll look at PSG and go, you're not it in the Champions League like Liverpool's, but like. I mean, I'm saying this, Thomas, like Liverpool's squad and strength in depth is almost better than City's. Probably better than City's actually now, and that shows
it has crept up with good investments. But again, your B team is more expensive than our A team.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But, I mean,
I don't need to keep having digs.
No, what I'm saying is that shows that it seems like we should have recruited So we tried to recruit a striker, but we always seem to be like a season late. So like when Company left, we should have replaced him that season, but then we waited a season to get Diaz, and then we should have replaced Aguero last summer, but we waited a season to get maybe Haaland. So like,
I think if you bring Haaland in, I don't think anyone will be complaining about one season late. Or anything like that.
If Haaland comes in, Premier League's done, man.
It's done.
I'm going to join the European.
He's scored 40 goals next season if he comes in or something.
I mean, I don't know if it's done, but obviously it'll help us.
Just having someone who just his hunger is purely put the ball in the back of the net. Like when you watch Haaland, his all he wants to do is score. And putting him in a City team with the crossing, the passing, the build up that they have. Oh my
De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Grealish, Foden.
Trying to share low.
Yeah, honestly,
or-
if
You're getting me
Salah
excited. You're getting me
and Haaland-
excited.
if Haaland comes in, I think it becomes a farmers league. I'm not even lying to you boys.
Yeah, mate, it's ridiculous.
I
I
mean,
think
think
it would
we
take a
get
couple
farmed by
games.
Haaland.
It may take.
Terrible.
I think it may take like half a season, as it often does for like
Nah.
like.
I think you'll do
Or
Diaz
for
and come
Bundesliga,
straight in.
no. It's like for Bundesliga players, it often takes a bit of time. Normally, it's a season. I think with Haaland, it'd be half a season.
Not
But you
everyone's
just
doing that.
mentioned Timo Werner, right? As well.
Yeah,
Or did you mention Timo Werner?
No, in all fairness, Keita did take a season or two. Or
Yeah, so I
three.
mean, like Bundesliga players take slightly longer than other clubs to acclimatise. I've no other
nothing's
leagues.
guaranteed though. Nothing's guaranteed. But
It will be
obviously,
guaranteed after 6 months. I fucking
I think
guarantee it.
he bags a hat trick in the first game.
I mean, it's not. But like,
It depends how early he comes in as well, doesn't
Well,
it?
the thing
If
is,
Pep
other
has like a
team-
month with him before any games,
other teams
Yeah.
like Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, United, Tottenham will all improve themselves. So it's not done. But like,
that's the Premier League.
We're getting your replacement. We're getting your striker you're kicking out to bring in Haaland. So it's an improvement for us, but it's not going to make us compete with
Yeah.
that.
That's the thing with the Premier League right now, though. It is getting like better.
Yeah,
Which is why I
with
think
United with Ten Hag next season, I think they'll get top four easy with Ten Hag.
Nah.
Not with
I
these group of
think.
players. Not with these.
I
They
think
need
so.
the 4 It'll take them 2 seasons, I think.
You reckon?
Yeah.
But apparently
I reckon.
they've got like 8 players going out, and they want to bring 8 players in or something.
Well, if
Well,
they
good luck with
shortcut a
that.
rebuild,
Good
maybe
luck
one
with that.
season.
Because who's going to want to be the first person to come into that absolute shambles of a club?
Someone who likes Ten Hag, I guess.
Christian Eriksen.
Unless he brings back players or brings players in that he's worked with before. Like, well, where's he been? He went at Ajax, Bayern Munich. Is that where he's been?
Yeah. Well,
No, he was yeah.
yeah.
Bayern Munich.
Was he a coach in that? So
No, he wasn't at Bayern Munich.
yeah, he was with Pep.
No, but he wasn't. It wasn't the.
Oh no, he was a coach with Pep.
Yeah,
Like he was there at some point. Like he was.
Yeah.
So he might have some relationships with people.
No, he does already. Like he said, he spoke to Van der Beek already and said, "You're in my plans next season." He's spoken to Eriksen saying he wants him to go over because obviously I think Eriksen used to play for Ajax as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, like he has links clearly, but it's more the risk. Like he knows he's taken a risk going to United.
Yeah.
So players will also have that.
They've got Ranić behind the scenes now as well, won't they? So like the structure.
Yeah, we all know he's a shocking manager.
He's not a manager.
It's not really fair because he's been gone in. He's probably gone in thinking I can change this, and then realize he can't change it, and just gone like sack it.
There's a few pundits as well. I always watch after the United games who are like, "There's no way he should be given even a part-time job at United after these shambolic performances he's been putting out as a manager."
I don't know if he's to blame though. It's more
And then I think Gary Neville always goes, "Yeah, but it's all about his behind-the-scenes work. You know, he's going in, seeing who's like the bad salts of everyone, and then he's going to kick them out." It's like nice. So basically, just avoid 6 months you've just been having then.
Harry Maguire.
Harry Maguire has to go. He has to go, blood. He has to go, blood.
Just one more thing as well. I know we don't look at the smaller teams, but credit to Burnley's, I think Ben Mee. He's coming in the caretaker manager, and he's set up to win like manager of the month or something ridiculous because they've won like 3 on the trot.
Yeah,
got him out of the relegation zone. I can't remember exactly what it is, but just wanted to give him a shout out.
Send somehow. I mean, if Everton go down, madness.
It's hilarious. Like I think for the Premier League, Burnley should go down, but I think it'd be hilarious if Everton go down.
It would be good.
And then it's literally then only Arsenal who've never been relegated.
Jeez.
Well, and never will be. Right?
the confidence in your voice wasn't that strong there, Cam.
You don't know what's going to happen. Never know. One of
no,
our
it's true.
owners could be involved in a war, and we might get sanctioned. And
yeah, it's true.
That is true. Well, we've had our kind of 20-minute
tangent
meander into different subjects. let's go back to the Premier League. 5-1 City to Watford. So I saw a few things on social media. It was Dubford for City. Every time they go to Watford, they always face Watford. They always win. Putting the W in Watford.
Yeah, it was 15 in a row.
that.
Apparently, that's a record or something.
5-1. I mean,
Why they even turn up? Just forfeit.
and the fact that Jesus scored 4 goals.
Yeah.
So
No,
what position was he playing?
What? Sorry.
What position was he playing?
Well, he played a bit in striker, but he obviously the rotation and that. But like, he never does that. He's like, as soon as there's a rumor that he's going, he's like, right, okay, I'll score 4 and assist
But
one.
I'm sorry, but you also was just fed. Like he was.
Oh yeah. But even when he this is what I mean. Like even when he is fed, usually he doesn't score them.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong, I don't really want him to go because I like him. I think he's really good on the wing. Like he's got that energy and stuff. But when he plays striker, he doesn't usually do what he did against. Well, obviously it's Watford, but he doesn't usually score them. Like
he's got the potential. He's only 25 years old. He's got potential.
Yeah, he gets chances and he just doesn't score them. Like, but obviously, get like rumor is going. He's like, right, I'll do it for you, no problem. Like, so I mean, they might try and persuade him to stay now. I think, but we'll see.
I don't think they'll change their mind based off of one game.
No, but in Pep's interview, I think it's more that Jesus has gone, they're signing a striker, I'm going to go. But because Pep said, he's our player, like he belongs to us, sort of thing. So Pep obviously still likes him. So we'll see.
Well, like in Pep's eyes, he'll be like, I don't need to get rid of him if I get a striker. Keeps the squad thing. He's not going to be able to play Haaland every game, is he?
Yeah.
But from like Haaland's
injury prone,
and he plays on the wing mostly now, anyway. So
Haaland's injury prone.
Yeah,
he's such a big guy.
Yeah. So this is why it might not work.
Maybe.
Does anyone else want to touch more on the City Watford game before I move on?
Wow, it was boring.
I remember when I said that once to annoy Kieran in front of the City game when they went 3-0 up. I was like, it's boring now. And he's like, what do you mean boring? We're only 3-0. It's so exciting.
What was that? Was that the Brighton game?
Yeah, this was like
I was with him for that, and I was seeing the chat when you were complaining about the penalty thing. I just saw you like chat after chat after chat from Tom like complaining about the penalty.
The thing is though, I bit with that one because like I even said like right at the start, like it's done anyway, the game's done, doesn't matter. I just don't think it should be a pen. And then
everyone was like, yeah. I was just seeing Kieran's phone lighting up like all the
time. Well, moving on to the people that triggered me. Arsenal 3-1 United. Got a bit lucky. Bruno Fernandes missing a pen, but wasn't the worst pen of the weekend though. We got that to look forward to. Wasn't the worst pen of the weekend, which is surprising.
It could have been a different result quite easily. Could have been.
Yes. Was the Cedric handball pen?
I'd say so.
I'd say that was a pen.
I think there was one. Yeah, is that the one where he's literally got his hand in the air?
It's just like scoops.
I thought I saw one with Gabriel. Well, that might be.
Well, yeah, I think that was given though.
That one was given.
That was the one that was given. Okay. So, but I think the Cedric one should have been as well.
Yeah,
but
Arsenal got the rub of the green, I think.
But I mean, a couple of good goals from Arsenal.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, Man United could have got something out of the game, didn't take their chances, got a bit unlucky.
Xhaka
I've got a question for you guys as well.
Bullet.
Cristiano Ronaldo is on the pitch. Should anyone else ever be taking the penalty?
No.
Well, after the game, Ranić said that Ronaldo said he didn't feel like taking it or something.
Because of the recent passing, maybe.
Maybe, but I don't think that's true. I think because if the truth came out that Fernandes goes to Ronaldo, you're not taking it, I'm taking it. He would get absolutely slammed for it. So he's made up that Ronaldo didn't feel like taking it, so Fernandes doesn't get
Ronaldo is that he has that mentality of I'm not going to miss, so
Yeah.
it doesn't matter if I'm
You would want to take it, whatever.
But then obviously
think
Fernandes
Bruno's the future of that United club, and it does make sense for the manager to say, you take the pens, you take responsibility of the free kick. Even though I know Ronaldo's decent, and not maybe free kick so much, but especially
scored one
penalties.
recently, actually.
It's the first one in
Free
like
kick.
5 years, wasn't it? Though, or something.
but penalty like.
Even if he was at Chelsea, and even if it was Mason Mount or him, fucking Ronaldo's taking that penalty. I'm sorry.
But then the problem is Fernandes has also got a really, really good penalty taking record. So,
but also,
Jorginho
question: who out of the two takes them for Portugal? Ronaldo does. So why is it any different at club level?
Well, it's got to be a decision made somewhere. Maybe like Fab said, he's got to take responsibility, step up, or Ronaldo has gone. Look, you take it. But I mean, either way, I'd still bet on Fernandes scoring that penalty.
Yeah,
and he hits the post.
He missed a few now recently. I swear he's missed like 2 or 3 this season now.
I think as well. I think it's gone under the radar a little bit, but I think Bruno's having a really poor second half of the season. From this time last year, when he was arguably him and Salah were the best 2 players in the Prem. He's gone from. I think he's got away with it with his reputation and Maguire and all that stuff, but I think he's been really poor. I think he should be held accountable a little bit for their downfall. But
I mean, the whole team has been very poor, really poor. So, but then the problem was when he came into Man United, they were struggling, and then he came in and instantly was a fresh pair of legs, fresh mind.
Yeah.
But I think his mentality has been toxicified, if that's a word.
Yeah.
Into Man United. This is what the club is like at the moment. And even Bruno Fernandes has got that.
Yeah. I mean, the problem, obviously, that a lot has been made is sort of like, is Ronaldo a problem or what is the solution or whatever? But there's one thing that can't be denied is since Ronaldo's come in, before that, Bruno was the focal point. Everything went through him. He assisted, he scored goals. He was the main creative force. Ronaldo's come in and taken that away from him a little bit, which has contributed to how he's playing now a little bit, really.
But I mean, if you look at face value, their attack is actually pretty good. So they struggle in field and defence, but their attacking lineup and all the options they've got is actually decent. They can look at Sancho, Ronaldo, Fernandes, Elanga's come through, Rashford. These are all top players, top attackers. But then you go down back through the team, midfield, Scott McTominay, Matic, and then you've got Bruno trying to put a shift in there.
I think Fred's improved this season, in my opinion. I think he's improved,
but he's still not.
No, yeah, he's not. But I think he's improved.
That fucking statement gets me. At least Fred's improved.
No, he's improved. I didn't say he's good.
In defense,
no. He has improved.
De Gea is the only reason why they're not further down the table.
And how many seasons have we said that? How many seasons has it been said that De Gea is the only reason they're not lower down in the league?
It is crazy. It is actually crazy. But
should we move on to Sunday?
Yeah.
We'll start off with Chelsea 1, West Ham 0. Absolute boring, throwing up, falling asleep, watching crap game of a game that was, with possibly the worst penalty I've ever seen taken. At least if you sky it, you've gone for a bit of power and, maybe you just miss-hit it. Jorginho gave the ball back to Flapianski.
Flapianski.
Just stood there. He just stood there.
It didn't have to move, really.
No. It was. What went wrong?
It went wrong. And then Captain America fortunately saved us.
You got lucky.
It was just an awful game. Apparently, we had stupid amount of shots. We had 26 shots to their 6. But I didn't feel like that. Well, I did feel like that. But I would have given Craig Dawson the man of the match as well if he didn't get sent off, because he was massive for them. Their only
How do you
fit
get sent off?
centre back, and
But-
I think he made like 3 blocks that were going to be goals and stuff like that.
But by the end of the game, even like it's until that happened in the penalty, I didn't. Even though you had that amount of shots and you had all the pressure, I still
It
couldn't
didn't seem like we were going to
score.
score.
Yeah,
Yeah, it didn't seem like we were going to score.
So I was sat there pretty like comfortable with myself. Like West Ham are going to drag this out now. Like they might even grab a goal. We don't know. But I could
Well, yeah,
see
they brought. I was like, well, we're screwed. They've just brought. We haven't managed to do anything against this second string team, and now they've just brought on Declan Rice, Bowen, and Lanzini. We're screwed.
Mm.
Well,
Declan
then,
Rice-
I guess,
Declan Rice is
I
available.
guess we made 3 changes of that, which helped us out. Like Ziyech, he was okay. Lukaku actually did something. Lukaku. And then Christian Pulisic scored. So actually some good subs, which is nice. But oh God, if we play like this for the rest of the season, we're screwed.
Declan Rice is available, isn't he?
He is.
He rejected his 3rd contract offer, so is he on his way to Chelsea?
Or
Yeah,
United.
did you see that this picture that was going around social media of him like with Mason Mount after the game, and it's just like no context needed.
Chelsea United. That's his options.
No, it's City are in for him now as well.
Yeah, probably City is
City.
sniffing around.
Yeah.
Because Fernandinho's leaving, so we need a
That might
new
be part of the
midfielder.
conversation.
What's that? Oh, Liverpool.
No.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
he's not
we're
your
in
style.
second
I wouldn't say he's your style of midfielder though.
I know, but I don't.
No,
I
I'm
don't
talking about
really-
Liverpool. I think he'd fit at City, but I'm saying at Liverpool, I don't think he'd fit.
Oh, Liverpool.
In all fairness, I'm joking about it now. I think we were actually rumoured for him, but this is back right when he just first kind of.
Mm.
I could see City getting him just so that nobody else can have him.
But that's the thing with City, like it doesn't really make sense because we don't play 2 holding midfielders, so we'd have to rotate with Rodri, and I don't know if you'd want to do that.
The issue
I
is though, his
Yeah,
game's
Henderson.
also developed. His game has developed a lot,
Mm.
Rice, and like he'd actually play more like a Pogba role without like if he went to United, they'd still need just a straight up 6 like Souček next to Rice. And they'd sign him. They'd want him to play in that like holding 6 role, and he won't do it as well as that's he'll do it really well. Don't get me wrong.
How much is he going for as well?
But
'Cause
he's not
Moyes
getting
wants
utilised.
150.
I think the
Go for 100.
ballpark's like 120 now.
A lot of money.
Jesus.
And they could be more. I think I've seen 150 as well. Like it's just
Yeah. Moyes has said
Probably
150.
not for 150.
yeah. Moyes wants 150.
You won't
But
get
I mean, he fits the bill for a big money move. Young, English, good.
Yeah, it's just the English price tag, though, isn't it? The English price tag always boosts it. Always boosts it.
Mm.
Yeah, we'll see.
And let's move on to the last game of the season, the Merseyside derby.
The season.
Bit controversial. Fat Frank wasn't particularly happy with what happened on the pitch.
Oh yeah, he's a big baby. wasn't he?
Mane going for 2 people's eyes. A definite penalty shout for
It
Everton.
was a penalty. That was ridiculous. Have you seen the
Nah,
stat?
the Matip one.
Yeah.
It was just a coming together. There was no like.
Oh,
No way.
Stonewall
We knew
penalty.
you'd say this as well. We were chatting before the podcast. Man was like, I can't wait to see what he says.
It's a bit of a touchy one, but
I said
In
if he
terms
has that's the one to pen.
I looked at pictures of their legs, and the Everton player stands on Matip's leg,
He's in front of
which
him
is
though.
but I don't know
He's
if you
in front
count
of
that.
him
It's a penalty for me.
though. Yeah, Gordon's in front of him.
Have you seen the stat that came out as well? Liverpool haven't been given a penalty against them for 46 games.
I didn't know that.
That's crazy.
46 games. That's more than a
I
season.
think that's credit to the defense more than anything, though. I think like experience in
Oh
your
my
back line.
God.
If you're making silly challenges, it's just like Dave the other day. Like Van Dijk wouldn't pull something like that. Yeah, we've gotten some lucky calls.
But sometimes you just can't help it. Like it's the way the state of VAR right now as well. They give a penalty for stupid reasons, whether it is a penalty or not. So to get away with it for that long, to not have a penalty conceded, that is crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd argue our two centre
kudos
backs
to
though
you.
probably the most kind of like concrete. They're not going to do anything silly, really, with the ball, and like
even
on
like
those
an accidental
flanges as
ball
well.
or something. Like not even that. Like that's
Well, I mean that one against Everton. I mean,
That's a pen. He's
penalty.
in front of Matip.
He's all over his back, and then I think, like you say, he stands on his leg, but then I think he stands on his foot as well. So like,
I think genuinely what's happened is if they've looked at it and the only contact like below the waist is their winger stepping on Matip's foot. Matip is behind him, but as he puts his like foot back, he steps on Matip's foot, forward facing foot.
Yeah, but also he does shove it.
And I don't know if that's a pen.
no, I mean
Shoulder to shoulder, mate.
not.
It wasn't shoulder to shoulder. Borden's
Yeah,
shoulder
maybe,
in front of Matip.
maybe not the when he stepped on his foot, but like he's all over his back. Like it's, I don't know. Like if the
I just think he's gone over a bit too easily. Like, you know, I can see the argument for a pen. I'm not disagreeing. I personally don't think there's enough in that, and I don't think he's done himself any favors by diving previously in the game as well. I think there was quite an obvious dive, and he got booked for it at the ref's attention. And honestly, if I'm being upfront with you, I thought Gordon had like a fantastic game, and I
he was
thought,
very good.
give credit to him, he's probably put in the best performance at Anfield for quite some time. And I just think it could have been a lot better just if he didn't go down so easily. And maybe
there was like the whole Richarlison thing as well. He was going down like a sack of potatoes.
Yeah, exactly. There was definitely they just didn't make their. I think the commentators said about like crying wolf. If you're going down for easy stuff like that, then eventually it's just going to come back to bite you because the ref's not going to believe you. And I think that's sort of just what happened.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. I think like you say like that. But I think if that is an isolated incident, and the same as if the Aspilicueta one is a penalty, I think
that's definitely a penalty.
No, they're completely different. One's playing for the ball, and one's
they're different, but in essence, it's still a penalty incident. So, like, if there's enough contact in that one, there's enough contact in the other. That's what.
Yeah, but the previous one wasn't about the amount of contact. The fact he wasn't going for the ball. You can get foul anywhere on the pitch if you don't go for the ball.
Yeah, still, again, in essence, it's still a penalty incident. So
it was probably a foul anywhere else on the pitch, but I think we've seen it in the Prem for a while now. It takes a little bit more than that to get a penalty these days with the modern game. And I just think,
to be fair,
it's the whole like they clearly thought it would either be one, too controversial to call it because obviously it's a Merseyside derby. Two, was it enough to change the on-field decision? Three, obviously they would have been in communication with each other, so they would have asked the ref why he didn't give it, and if there was then if what the reason he gave was enough, there wasn't enough on VAR to change it, then they won't overturn it. Like I can see why they wouldn't overturn it.
Yeah,
I can see why they wouldn't overturn the Aspilicueta one. Like there's not the issue is right now with VAR is again VAR is not the issue; it's how it's used. So we don't know how much is like if it's inconclusive. Do you know what I mean? We don't know how as a fan, we don't know how much is not enough to overturn it. If that makes sense.
But then if we don't know, they probably don't know either.
Yeah, exactly. So, and like it's the same with like the Alonso handball against Real Madrid. I thought that was too inconclusive to overturn it, but it wasn't. But obviously, it's a different competition, so I don't know.
What's the point of actually having VAR about if you know that the referee is going to the monitor, he's going to change the decision? So what's the point? It just baffles me because the whole point of VAR is to help the ref, right? That's what it was brought in for. But now all it is doing is giving the referee doubt about the decision that he's given, which then makes him think, right, I need to change my decision here because somebody else thinks that it's wrong. And they can look at it with technology and all this and all that. But then, like, they're implementing the rules differently because they see it in different ways. So a referee will see it on the field and he'll go, right, that's this is that. That's from my experience as a referee. I'm going to give this as a penalty. If you can sit there and you can watch something over, if I looked at that Matip challenge, I could find, if I looked at it for an hour, I could probably find 5 reasons why it is a penalty and 5 reasons why it's not a penalty. So how do then I come to a decision of whether it is a penalty or not? If I can find reasons for both with the rules that we've got. So where do you draw the line? How do you do it? But then if they try and go too detailed with, if there's any contact on a player without getting the ball, well, you get a penalty, you get 10 penalties a game. So it's all ambiguous. It's all unclear. So what do you do? Like, I don't know. I need answers, boys. I need answers. Give me answers.
I've got no answers for you, mate.
VAR, fix it.
I don't know.
It's just going to go the next half an hour of us fix VAR.
VAR is just, it's not made for decisions like that. Anyway, I just want to say as well, like, I think it's funny, none of the commentators picked up on it, but I think this Liverpool team that played against Everton was fatigued.
Probably.
They were quite tired. I thought we played quite poorly in the first half. I think Everton actually had a better first half than we did. In terms of chances and stuff like that, which was, quite embarrassing, really. But nothing came of it, and we did get our goals, and it's a great performance. But I think that's the first time I was watching that game, and I was after the first half, I really did think we were going to drop points. I was sort of like accepting the fact, Everton were going to knock us out of the title race. That sort of
it was a proper derby, wasn't it? It was proper derby. Form out of the window, just who turns up.
It was just a proper derby.
I think like you're saying with your fatigue, like you've played in so many games because it's inevitable. If you go for the quadruple, you play in so many games, so you're going to have fatigue. But I guess, but Klopp has said he said when he got through to the FA Cup final, he was like, oh yeah, obviously, like we have to be there to win it, but in turn that makes it more difficult because it's another game. It's just so many games when you're doing that. But I mean, with the way Liverpool are playing at the moment, anyway, I don't think it matters because even when you are fatigued or not playing like amazing,
but I think a fatigued Liverpool team is more likely to slip up, and I think we almost did that game.
Starting to grind results out, I think. So
how about quickly then for the end, so we can have our opinion now. And we can see in a couple of weeks' time how we feel. Do you think that Liverpool are going to win the league or City?
Go on, Ben.
I mean,
the most pessimistic City fan you think he's going to say.
Obviously,
quick fire.
Obviously, I've got a back City, but if we do slip up once, it's Liverpool's.
So we'll come back in a couple of weeks' time, and we'll ask the same question, see how the opinions change. So Fab.
I'm actually going to go with City, to be honest with you. I think when it comes down to it, and Pep Guardiola's not messing about with the rotations, and you get De Bruyne and Kyle Walker, Diaz back from injury, I don't see you, especially with your run-in as well. I think West Ham away is the only tricky one. I just don't see doing anything. I think we have a harder run in. I think we could definitely drop points like away to Spurs, something like that. And we've got Newcastle away. We might have West Ham again as well. But
So Liverpool. So you win City. You win City still.
Yeah, I'm going City. I don't think they'll drop points till the end of the season.
I want to say Liverpool now. I was going to say City. I want to say Liverpool now just to be different, but I think City personally.
I'm going to tell the underdog. I'll go Liverpool. I think City
the thing is, it's not even like they're the underdog because if this is,
say City are currently the underdogs in this.
City are in the position to win it.
Oh
So-
yeah. There's that, but like the reality is, well, that if City draw or lose one game, it's Liverpool's. That's
Yeah, and
that-
but I mean, I guess I consider Liverpool underdogs at the moment though, because look at, I mean, there's a 10-point gap like throughout the season, and then it's come down to this, and now it's getting a bit sketchy.
I mean,
it's a bit hairy,
with games in hand, I might add.
so I mean, to be fair, Ben, you said, was it January time? You were like, well, we've got the 10-point gap, but I'm still not confident.
Oh
So,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's come down to this as well. So how about Champions League? Champions League, Ben. Who do you think? City more likely or Liverpool?
I know this answer for me.
Yeah,
Clear as
Liverpool.
day.
Liverpool.
Liverpool.
Yeah, Liverpool.
Yeah, I'll go with Liverpool.
Liverpool. Yeah, Liverpool around. They've
It
got
has to be. It has to be. I'm sorry.
and Liverpool in the final.
It
I think
ne-
they'll
it
clean up whoever it
it
is.
Should we do
never
FA Cup as well then? Chelsea or City? Chelsea or Liverpool?
Liverpool.
Liverpool, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to say Chelsea, but
I'm gonna back Chelsea just because it's our third fucking FA Cup final in 3 seasons. We've got to bloody win one of them. Jesus.
So
If we don't win one of those games, if we don't win the FA Cup this season, it's a joke. It's a joke. We've lost 3 FA Cup finals in a row, man. Oh.
you're just going to win. You're just going to lose another one. But I mean,
And then we'll probably make it to the next one and lose it as well.
I just inadvertently backed Liverpool to win a quad.
You did.
Yeah.
You did.
It's a scary
Or
thought, isn't it?
the
I
other
mean-
one I can see slipping up on is the league, because City, it's out of their hands. City have to win all games. But that's still a treble.
yeah. I mean, my
Domestic. No.
I back City, but with the caveat of if we drop points in one game, it's Liverpool. So it's very close to a quad, really.
So we'll come back. We'll come back in a couple of weeks' time, shall we? A week before the FA Cup final, maybe.
Yes, that sounds like a very good plan. So obviously you guys got that to look forward to with the Purple Show. I'm sure there'll be more ups and downs through the season for us to talk about with our 4 teams, kind of the most fun 4 teams in the league, barring United, I'd say, because who cares about Spurs? Thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy, please leave a like and subscribe if you're new around here. We are so close. We're actually the closest we've been to 900 subs ever. So it'd be greatly appreciated if you guys could help us reach that goal.
It's all about net spend.
Net spend, context, net spend.
Yeah.
All about context. Cheers.
Content.